Hi Capricorn, this is your reading for March 2019. Thank you so much for clicking on the video. Please set aside anything you're doing so that while we're doing this reading together, you get the most out of our time together. So don't multitask. And while I'm shuffling, just relax into a comfortable posture, focus on your breathing, and tune in with me, tune in with the deck. Send your energy over into the cards. And take a moment here to check in with your higher self and your guides. Ask them to connect with me, with my higher self and my guides, so that we can create a feedback loop to get really clear and relevant messages that are tailored for you. Capricorn, let's take a look. Interesting cards here for you, Cap. I'll start talking in a second. Okay. Well, at the bottom of the deck here, you have the Ace of Pentacles in the upright position. So this is telling me that the general feeling here, or the sort of energy that you're holding right now, or your signature, is sort of one which is kind of feeling ready for a fresh beginning, an energetic fresh beginning, but in the physical world. And there's a lot of interesting cards here, a lot of interesting pairings of cards as well, and I'm not quite sure where to start. Well, first of all, what's notable here is that you have this 6 and 7 of Cups in the reading across the central axis here. This 6 of Cups is coming in from the position of your recent past. This is the energy that you're coming into this reading with. And where you're coming out of the reading is with the 7 of Cups in reverse. So what it says to me is that what's on your mind at the moment is your connection to another person, like a soulmate connection, one that has kind of a very in-depth feeling of like we're getting into some deep stuff here. Like this is not just your typical friendship or someone that you love and care about. This is something a lot deeper, and something which is like it can have that feeling of the two sides of the coin, where on one hand it's like really loving and deep understanding and like very, very familiar, and on the other hand it's incredibly triggering and causes a lot of emotional tension, let's say. So that's what you're coming into the reading with, and that's kind of the energy I feel like that this spread kind of is describing. Has a lot to do with your interactions with this person, or the way you feel about this person, or how that person is affecting your, let's say, decision making or flow. And at the heart of the reading you have this 9 of Pentacles in the reverse position. This is actually one of my favorite cards, if not my favorite card in the deck. But I'm not really very happy to see it in reverse here in the center of the reading. It says to me that at the moment you're, perhaps this person, nobody can make you feel a certain way. Let me just say that at first. Nobody can make you feel a certain way. However, the opposite is also true. People can make you feel a lot. And this 9 of Pentacles in reverse here feels to me like the way that this person and you are interacting is having an incredibly profound effect on your sense of self-esteem, on your sense of self-worth, and on your self-confidence. And that I don't like. So, but what it's saying here is that there is a lot of potential, and I think that's why you're still involved. I feel like you see that there's a lot of potential for you to grow and understand, but I think at the same time, like, you have to at some point realize, like, there is a point where the triggering effect, if nothing changes from both sides, starts to have a detrimental effect. You know, if both parties are not involved in the same way, if there isn't a resonance in the level of, you know, I mean, everyone's on their own journey, right? But if you're in a relationship with someone, and it doesn't have to be a lover, it doesn't have to be like a romantic relationship. This could be any kind of dynamic with someone where you feel that sense of alignment in terms of like a kind of karmic and spiritual like alignment with this person, where you can see like there is energy in this person's reflection that is helping me to grow and evolve and to change. But if that energy is not reciprocated on both sides, or if that level of like meeting or sitting eye to eye in a certain way of understanding that you're involved in something that's much deeper than just a casual friendship or even a romantic relationship, but there's some really deep spiritual work going on. If both people are not on the same page with that, at a certain point, like, you can start to feel like a crazy person, because you end up being the one that takes all the responsibility for all the feelings, for all the triggers, for all the circumstances that are playing out. Like, and that's not fair. That's not fair. That's what I feel this Seven of Cups here is like. It's living in this delusional space where you kind of start to feel like maybe you're going a bit crazy, but it's not you. But at some point it is you, because you have to see that you are allowing this kind of energy to continue by being, allowing yourself to be gaslit, basically. This is gaslighting. Okay? Now, other cards here. So, well, yeah. Let's see. Okay, you have this beautiful Ten of Cups at the foundation of the reading. So in your subconscious mind, you're holding the space for this relationship that feels like it could be that happily ever after. But from the other cards that I'm seeing here, I don't feel like it is. I feel like this is something that you're hoping for, but it may not actually be true. You know? What you have here is the Moon with the Five of Wands, and then the Ace and Two of Swords, both in reverse. So, again, I feel like all these four cards and this Seven of Cups in reverse are all lending themselves to the interpretation that you might feel like you're going a bit fucking crazy. Right? Like the Moon and the Five of Wands, there's this like inner conflict, confusion. And what I feel it is, I just have to plug in my computer here. Now, what this feels like to me is that, again, this person or this connection, this soulmate connection that you're feeling this really strongly. But it's leaving you in this state of like, I'm hearing poverty, like mental poverty, emotional poverty. It's making you feel emotionally impoverished. It's making you feel a bit crazy, because it's like you're having to do all the processing on your own. It feels very one-sided. And that's what I feel this Ace and Two of Swords, both in reverse, is saying. Is like, there's not a lot of clarity, because there's not really, it doesn't feel like there's a dialogue. It feels like you're doing all the work. There's two fives here, the Five of Wands and the Five of Pentacles. So yeah, I feel like there's a level of physical, emotional exhaustion. There's a feeling here with this Five of Pentacles and the Page of Cups here in reverse that you're really tired. You're emotionally exhausted, and the feeling that was maybe once there at some point with a kind of emotional offer, an emotional opportunity, is actually proving to be very much one that is only taking and not giving. Okay? And this, again, I'm going to come back, I'm jumping around a little bit, I know, but the Moon here with the Five of Wands feels to me like, again, like you are doing all the work in the emotional, like all the things that are coming up, all the triggers that you're feeling, all the points that are being pressed. It feels like you're taking on the entire load of that, and the other person is not contributing in any way to any kind of understanding or growing or evolving or sharing responsibility. And again, that feels really unfair. I don't like this. I really don't like this. This Ace of Swords and Two of Swords, both in reverse. But what I have to say here with this Two of Swords in reverse is that what you allow to continue is what we will be dealing with. So if you're in denial about this dynamic and actually the way it's really making you feel, that's on you. That's on you. Because what you tolerate will continue. But if you make a clear decision, and that's what I'm seeing here with these two outcome cards, right? Like you can walk away from this situation with clarity, with confidence, with a sense of victory in your, and not in a sense of like you won. It's not about beating someone. It's not about getting the upper hand. This is about just your own personal sense of well-being and confidence, right? Like this Nine of Pentacles in reverse is kind of like the opposite of this Six of Wands upright. We want to see both of these right side up. Okay? So this Six of Wands in the outcome position, upright, is your potential. Like that's where you could get to. You can get to this place where you actually feel like you have a sense of success in the situation. But you have the Hangman here in reverse. So this is saying to me that I'm hearing that you're being too patient. I know that sounds ridiculous because patience is a virtue, right? It's very like a beneficial space to hold for somebody. But I think you're being too tolerant. That's what I feel here. You're being too tolerant. And you're not, I think you're undermining yourself and your self-esteem by putting someone else's, I'm hearing pedestal. Like you may be putting someone on a pedestal. You may be overvaluing someone for who they are or what they do, and undervaluing your own emotional state and your own well-being, and allowing this kind of energy to continue where, you know, you feel exhausted and you feel taken advantage of perhaps, and you feel maybe emotionally ignored or emotionally disregarded. And this Three of Wands here in the crowning position, again in reverse, not loving this energy either. I feel like there's some definitely a major shift needs to occur within you, some kind of like mental clarity. Like again, we want to see this Ace of Swords upright. I need to see that you're getting some mental clarity and that you're then able to make decisions that are thoughtful and considerate and of yourself, your own needs, your own well-being, your own self-esteem, your self-confidence, and that has your future in mind. Okay, all right. We love the power of now. We love like being here now, presence, and all that stuff. Yes, for sure. However, you need to make considerate decisions right now for your longer term future, and don't sell yourself short for some kind of immediate short term gain of some sort of sense of, I'm hearing value. It's like there's something that you're overvaluing something about this connection that is creating impediments and obstacles for yourself in the long-term future. And that's what I feel like these three cards here at the top of the reading are saying. So I feel, how do I say this? I feel that there's a need here for a little bit more selfishness. The type of selfishness that puts your self-esteem first, puts your self-worth first, puts what's important to you, what the things that are like the things that you value should be your priority. And you need to understand that those things are things that you can get for yourself. Let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Yeah, as I said, Ace of Pentacles, King of Wands, King of Swords, two kings there, and the Four of Pentacles. I feel that what this is speaking to is the sense of, again, like a kind of clarity that you need to come to on your own. I'm actually happy to see this King of Swords in upright here. Because like this Ace of Swords here, up in reverse, I don't like it. This King of Swords upright is providing a very beneficial energy of kind of clarity and wisdom. And the King of Wands here is saying, bring your fire to the game, like bring your enthusiasm, bring your will, and channel it into this energy of like the potential that you know is there for a new physical beginning. But this Four of Pentacles here in the outcome, like the final card here, I'm hearing restorative. So I feel that the message here is that this is kind of lending itself to the interpretation I gave earlier about selfishness. This is about you reclaiming your energy, consolidating yourself, withdrawing your energy from places where you've been giving too much, and reestablish your authority and your power in your own way, in your own entity, in your own being. Like, you need to reclaim this sort of sense of royalty, of clarity, of worth. Fundamentally, this whole reading is about self-worth. And places where you've been giving away your self-worth to some other person, there's some kind of hold on you here. But it's up to you to break it. It's not like something kind of beyond your ability to free yourself out of. But you have to achieve the clarity of mind to understand that it's up to you to kind of put your needs in the right place. Put them up in front. Put them in front. Stop putting other people's needs in front of yours. I mean, I've been saying this in almost every reading for this month. Like, there's a lot of energy here coming through, and it could have something to do with Uranus going into Taurus. But everybody needs to really focus on their self-worth, self-esteem, self-love, self-confidence. Like, that is where everybody needs to really put their attention right now and really focus on that to actually make clear decisions, make beneficial decisions, do the right thing by you. Because otherwise you're going to keep ending up in these looping relationships where you're always sort of second fiddle to someone else and nobody seems to notice. Of course nobody's going to notice. You have to notice. You're the only person that can. Stop putting other people's needs in front of yours. That's where I'm going to leave this reading. That's the end of the general there. Capricorn, I'm going to take the Voyager deck now and give your higher octave reading. These cards fell here, so I'm going to read them because I think they need to be read. Yeah. I saw those at the bottom of the deck and I almost took them, but now I see that they were part of this reading. So, and you have another 5 now. So here's the 5 of Cups with the Wheel of Fortune upright. 5 of Cups is in reverse. So now you have 3 5s in the reading. I think that what's important here is to see that I get the feeling that for some of you, you feel like you've invested so much that you can't walk away right now. But it's like you kind of need to, because you're only going to lose more if you keep going. Stop counting your losses and trying to recover them because they're gone. Just move forward. And this Wheel of Fortune here is kind of giving this instruction here. It's an instruction here to kind of take the wheel. Like, take the wheel. Like, turn the wheel of your own karma by making decisions that are thoughtful, that are considerate, that have your self-esteem and your self-worth and your own personal sense of your own value as at the forefront. That's what's important here. Like, you need to shift your own karma by making decisions that are based on your best interest. And forget about what you've lost. Forget about this feeling of like having to overcome or catch up on or recover from what's been lost. Or this feeling of like you've invested so much and your investment hasn't turned yet, but you're kind of waiting to see if it will turn. It's not going to turn. It is what it is. Let it be. Stop counting your losses and just move on. Stop trying to recover your losses and just move on. Let it be what it is. It's just all learning at the end of the day. There's no really any loss. There's no really even right and wrong. I forget everything I just said. It's bullshit. Do whatever you want. Okay, Voyager deck. Let's take a look now at your higher octave reading. Send your energy into the deck so I can get really clear messages for you. The Voyager deck and the higher octave reading will give us a little bit more insight into what's happening on a karmic and spiritual level, and hopefully provide some insight on how to move forward and work with the energies that are available to us to make the most out of the opportunities that are in front of us. Six of Wands reversed. It's the same. This is the same card here, but in reverse now at the heart of the reading. Chariot reversed, crossing. 2 of Wands, the Hangman reversed. So you had that twice now. Strength. Child of Cups, which is the Page of Cups, now in our composition. Here in Hopes and Fears it was in reverse. 5 of Crystals, another 5 reversed. 2 of Crystals reversed. 6 of Worlds reversed. Sage of Wands reversed, 3 of Wands, 7 of Wands, 3 of Cups reversed, and the Lovers reversed. So, similar feeling, like a lot of these cards are repeating. And again, there's this feeling like of, you know, you have these 2 5s again. This feeling of like there having been a loss or having experienced a loss within an existing experience, right? And it's like the feeling is that you're trying to kind of recover from that loss, but still within it. And the Lovers here in reverse is kind of affirming what we've described earlier. It's like the relationship is unhealthy. There is not a meeting here. There's not a meeting. I don't feel like there's a seeing of eye to eye. There's not a sense of equality here. It feels like you are taking all the load of all the responsibility, of all the emotional processing, of all the triggers. It feels like you're the one that's being forced to carry all of that because this person that you're dealing with won't take any responsibility. Of course, this reading could go either way. If you're cross-watching, it could be about you. If you are a Capricorn, this could also be about you. It could go either way. So just be honest. Now, the Hanged Man in the position of your unconscious mind in reverse. You had the Hanged Man in the previous reading, also in reverse. I would have to say that it still feels similar to me in that it's lending this interpretation of you being too tolerant towards someone. It feels like you're being too tolerant. You're being too compassionate, overly compassionate in a way that undermines your self-worth and your self-value because you allow someone's behavior to carry on, even though it impacts you in a way which is very harmful and very hurtful. But you are allowing it to continue. So the responsibility needs to be with you. You need to understand that you can't just sit around and carry the emotional load of someone who's not meeting you in a dynamic which is clearly showing a lot of potential for really deep healing. But if that person is not meeting you in that emotional responsibility, then you're carrying that alone. And it doesn't make sense to wait for them. Because they might not ever in this lifetime wake up to the fact that they have this potential. So it's up to you. It's up to you to decide or to realize that, like, your self-worth. The other thing you need to understand also is that you may be investing too much in this person or in this dynamic thinking that this is your soulmate or this is your twin soul or whatever. And this is the only place where you can do this work. It's not true. You can move on from this dynamic and you may realize that the things that you're going through now, the experiences that you're having now, are not some kind of karmic lifetime thing from before that you need to heal. It's just some drama that you're dealing with right now because you're with someone that is not really caring. It's not really caring. So overcome any sort of unrealistic expectations about someone's ability to, work with you in the ways that you want to work as far as your emotional process or the way you kind of communicate with life and your own process of evolving and growing. If this person is not on the same page with you, you don't have to wait for them. You can create a space for a new love to come in where that capacity is actually already there and existing, and then you can work with that. Stop feeling like this person is the only one you can do this work with, because it's not true. It's absolutely not true. What else is here? Okay, Hanged Man, 6 of Wands in reverse, crossed by the Chariot, and the 2 of Wands. So again, I feel like there's an urge here from the universe to tell you that you need not be so overly compassionate towards this person. You can kind of like put your feelings first and stop. What I feel here is that you have this unrealistic, overly romanticized expression of love with this person that is actually, I'm hearing a fantasy. It's a fantasy. You have 2 2s in the reading. This one is 2 of Wands upright called Purity, and here you have 2 of Crystals in reverse. This 2 of Crystals is the same here as this 2 of Swords. So again, I'm feeling like this, and here the 2 of Swords is with the 3 of Cups, and 3 of Cups in this reading, in this deck, is called Love. So what I feel this means is that, as I already said, I feel you have this unrealistic expectation or this overly fantastical, romanticized version of love that you are experiencing with this person, but it's actually all in your mind. It's something you've made up. It's a fantasy. 5 of crystals here as well, reverse. There's another 5 now. So again, this is feeling of like, this card in this deck is called negativity. So negativity with the Lovers. Again, I feel like there's this unhealthy, you're in an unhealthy dynamic with someone where you have some unrealistic expectation of that person because you're viewing them through these rose-colored glasses. Like there's a filter there that's unrealistic. You're not seeing them for who they truly are. You're projecting you are projecting your imagination onto them and trying to make them be someone that they're not. Now, here, 6 of Worlds reversed and Courage in the position of hopes and fears. I feel that the message here is, and the 6 of Worlds in this deck is called Synergy, and it's in reverse. So it's almost like you are being guided here by your higher self to understand that you may be putting unrealistic expectations on someone, and that the dynamic you're in with someone is not synergistic. They're not on the same page as you at all. They're in a different frequency completely. And so there isn't that kind of dynamic ability to process emotional triggers in a way that allows everyone to evolve and grow and become self-realized. You're working by yourself, basically. And here this card is called Courage, and then in this position you have Sage of Wands reversed with the 3 of Wands. So you have, interesting, these 2 3s here in the diagonal axis. I feel what's going on here in these crowning cards is, again, there's this feeling here of like, with the Sage of Wands in reverse and the 3 of Wands upright. 3 of Wands is called compassion. 2 of Wands is called purity. So what I feel there is that, again, there's this energy connected to this Hangman in reverse where it's like you are being too compassionate towards this person. It's like, not that there's anything wrong with compassion. Of course, compassion is like a really key energy to bring to humanity, right? But it's not actually compassion. It's like sympathy. It's not empathy. It's sympathy. And you are kind of, what's the word? You're enabling. You're enabling this person's bad behavior by continuing to kind of persist in your excessive patience, as I said in the first reading. Excessive patience that is enabling this person to continue misbehaving because you are sort of letting them have permission to do so, thinking that at some point they're going to realize that what they're doing is harmful. But you're the one with the delusion. Now this central axis here of the reading, you have coming from the recent past to the near future, you have Strength. 6 of Wands reversed called Trust, crossed by the Chariot. And here's the Child of Cups feeler. So I feel what the message here is. And again, you have Courage there in the 7 of Wands. So I feel the message here is that you're being asked by your guides and by your higher self to channel your energy into finding. Right now, your energy is displaced in this other person. There's this they're asking you to channel your energy of compassion into yourself. Give that energy of compassion to the self. Focus your awareness at the moment on purification. There's a kind of detox here I'm hearing. There's a need for a detox. There's a need for clarification of your physical vessel in order to have the strength and the courage and the foresight needed to move in the direction that is going to help you break free of kind of some, like there's a feeling here of like some obstacles and challenges and what's the word? You're putting these things in front of you, right? These obstacles and like challenges and difficulties that you may be experiencing are things that you're putting in front of yourself, and it's misplaced. It's misplaced. There's a little bit of an energy here of self-sabotage, I feel, with this misplaced energy of excessive patience for another person and misplaced compassion, which is actually a kind of fantasy. Like you're projecting your desires onto someone and trying to make them be someone that they're not, and the result is just simply you're setting yourself back a little bit. I'm sorry. The message and the overall theme of this whole reading is, again, I'll go back to that. I said it in the first part. There is a striving here towards cultivating and uplifting a greater sense of self-worth and self-confidence. And all this work that you're doing with this person is actually kind of reinforcing the opposite. Because you're putting energy of compassion and love into someone who's not there to receive it. And so it's kind of reinforcing a sense of like, I'm hearing discontent, or yeah, it's kind of affecting your self-worth in a harmful way. So let's have a look at the bottom of the deck. Child of Crystals, Man of Wands, Man of Cups reversed, and Child of Wands reversed. How interesting. Wow. Child of Crystals, Man of Wands, Man of Cups, Child of Wands. So 2 child cards and 2 man cards. So Page and King from traditional tarot. You have another child card here. So 3 pages. And although the pages are in the upright position, this Man of Cups is in reverse. I feel that the message here with these pages is that there is this, again, energy or like the universe is kind of giving you this nudge towards like, it's this, yeah, it's a kind of childlike energy of innocence, of on one hand the message is you're being too naive. On the other hand, the message is like, restore your energy of like that childlike wonder and bring a sense of innocence, I guess. Or maybe that's the problem. Maybe you're being too innocent in a way. I'll come back to that. I want to talk about these 2 mans here. The Man of Cups and the Man of Wands. Man of Cups is in reverse. Man of Cups and Man of Wands. I think there's some emotional manipulation going on. Like, in general, what I feel with this person is that they are mostly unaware of like at the level of emotional intelligence that you're operating at. But on the other hand, there's this unconscious, this Man of Cups in reverse here. I feel like there's an emotional manipulation going on where they may be unaware of just how much, they may not realize how much they're taking advantage of your love and of your kindness and of your compassion. On the other hand, they may be very fully aware of it. But whatever, on some level, like there's definitely emotional manipulation going on. Like you're being taken advantage of in a very unhealthy way. And this Man of Wands upright, it's kind of, we had the King of, that's right, in this previous reading, right? Remember we had the King of Swords and the King of Wands? Now in this reading we have the King of Wands and the Man of Cups. So there's a lot of this King energy. In the previous reading I felt like that was more about you, and the guidance from your guides and your higher self was along the lines of, you know, you needing to step into your domain, like your authority, and step into your power and like really embody real wisdom and compassion and mastery of those elements. But here I feel like this is talking about this person, another person or someone else. Now, the Man of Wands here in this deck is called Actor. And for me, it has this energy of deception, of conceitedness, of fakery, of fuckery, of manipulation. Like both of these cards feel to me like there is manipulation going on. And you are a victim of it. But as we know, there are no victims in life. You're allowing this to continue, and it's up to you to end this pattern, end this cycle of what this is going on here. And it's up to you to reclaim your energy, consolidate yourself, restore your energy body, your emotional well-being is your responsibility. If you keep putting your emotional energy into this place where the other person literally doesn't give a fuck about it, you are communicating something to life, to yourself, about your self-worth, and it's very, very harmful. So I think I want to wrap up this reading finally by saying, again, there's this message here around purification and clearing the energy field, detoxing. And that means getting away from toxic people, but it also means changing your own behaviors to stop poisoning yourself. Like if you are, again, it's another way of you kind of like affirming your lack of self-worth is by doing things that you know are harmful to you. So address all of these things. Address all of these things. I know it may feel overwhelming to do all of this at once. Just pick one thing at a time and tackle each issue. But fundamentally, build your self-esteem, work on self-love, Focus your attention on the things that nurture you, that raise up your sense of value, and really put a lot of attention in that area at this time. It's really important. There's a lot of energy available for really healing and restoring our self-esteem at this time. So work to resolve, work to restore. Bring your best game as far as gather all your courage and all your strength, all your willpower to focus your attention on this. Bring tough love to yourself and to others. And be selfish at this time. Be selfish. Do things that really nurture you and take care of you. And stop putting energy into people that actually are not meeting you in that emotional way, because it's really affecting you on a deep level. I feel that's it for your reading, Cap. Let me just check over. Yeah, this Hangman in reverse coming out in both readings is really significant. It's really significant. And then again, the Six of Wands coming out twice as well too. I really feel like the message here is don't stop putting your patient energy into this person, because they don't deserve it. Okay? I'm hearing restorative and detox. So take care of your body this month. I mean all the time, but like focus your awareness at the moment on your health and well-being. Make sure you're getting enough rest. Take exercise, eat well, cut back on alcohol and cigarettes and things like that you know are like crutches that are not really helping you. And yeah, start to get a grip on the reality of the situation that you're in, and stop fantasizing, stop deluding yourself. That's what that Seven of Cups in reverse is, the previous reading. You're letting delusion and fantasy take over you, and it's having a detrimental effect on your well-being. So, time for a reality check, Capricorn. Okay, that's your reading for March. I hope you found that helpful. Please let me know in the comments if you have anything to say. Thank you so much for your subscription. If you haven't already, please do subscribe. And you can hit the notification bell there next to the subscribe button if you want to get notified when new readings are getting uploaded. You can see on the screen now the link for your playlist for all the Capricorn readings. So if you're new to the channel, please go back and have a look at some of the previous readings. You might find some really helpful things in there. Coming up soon in the next few days, I'm going to be posting a general reading for all signs for the new moon. So yeah, subscribe and you can stay in touch. And yeah, thank you again for watching. It's a pleasure and an honor to read for you, and I'll see you next month.